Imagine a world where going to school could cost you everything. In Pakistan's Swat Valley, a place of breathtaking mountains and green valleys, a young girl dared to dream of a better life. Her name was Malala Yousafzai. Born on July 12, 1997, in Mingora, the largest city in Swat Valley, she was named after Malala of Maiwand, a Pashtun folk heroine, by her father, Ziauddin Yousafzai, a teacher who ran several private schools, including Kushal Girls High School and college. He believed in education and encouraged Malala to pursue her dreams, saying, "Don't clip her wings, let her fly." Malala was the eldest of 3 children, with 2 younger brothers, Kushal and Atal, growing up in a family that valued learning despite cultural challenges for girls.
Swat Valley, once known as the Switzerland of Pakistan for its stunning beauty, rivers sparkling in the sunlight, hills stretching to the sky, and ancient Buddhist ruins, was a tourist haven. But in 2007, when Malala was just 10, the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP) took control, imposing strict Sharia law. They banned music, television, and most devastatingly, girls' education. They destroyed over 150 schools, enforced their rules through public executions and floggings, and turned the once vibrant streets of Mingora into a war zone. Fear gripped the valley, and many families fled. But Malala's family stayed, determined to resist. Her father refused to close his school, and Malala continued to attend, believing that education was worth the risk. At age 11, Malala began writing a blog for BBC Urdu under the pseudonym Gul Makhai, meaning flower girl, to share her experiences under Taliban rule. Her entries like, "I want to go to school, it's my right," captured the fear and resilience of life in Swat, gaining international attention. Her father supported her activism, and she spoke at small gatherings, her voice steady despite the growing threats. The Taliban warned her to stop, but she declared, "I will continue to speak up for girls' rights, no matter what." Her activism earned her nominations like the International Children's Peace Prize in 2011 and Pakistan's National Youth Peace Prize. But the danger was ever present. Then came the day that changed everything. October 9th, 2012. It was a sunny afternoon, and Malala was on a bus with her friends heading home from school. They were chatting and laughing, happy to have finished an exam. Suddenly, the bus stopped. A masked gunman boarded, shouting, "Who is Malala?" Before anyone could react, he pointed a gun at her and fired. The bullet tore through her head, passing through her left eye socket and out her neck. 2 other girls were also injured. Chaos erupted. Screams filled the air as blood stained the seats. Malala fell, lifeless, as the gunman fled, believing she wouldn't survive.
The news raced around the world like wildfire. A young girl shot for wanting to learn? People couldn't believe it. In Pakistan, crowds took to the streets, holding signs that said, "We are all Malala." Global leaders like Barack Obama and Ban Ki-moon condemned the attack, calling it an assault on humanity. Malala was rushed to a hospital in Peshawar, then airlifted to Birmingham, England, for advanced treatment. She underwent extensive brain surgery and fell into a coma, with the world holding its breath, praying for a miracle.
Days turned to weeks, and slowly, Malala began to wake up. Tubes and machines surrounded her in that hospital room, far from the valleys of home. She couldn't speak at first, her voice stolen by the injury. But her eyes told a story of strength. Her father, Ziauddin, recalled the moment, saying, "I thought I might lose her," while her mother, Torpakai, offered constant encouragement, whispering, "You are my brave girl. You will overcome this." Against all odds, she healed. "They thought they could stop me," she later said, "but they only made me stronger." Her recovery wasn't just a victory for her. It was a spark that lit up the fight for girls everywhere.
By January 2013, Malala was well enough to go home, and she returned to school months later. Her story galvanized global support, with the I Am Malala campaign seeing people worldwide rally behind her. On her 16th birthday, she stood at the United Nations, wearing a shawl of the late Benazir Bhutto, facing a sea of people from around the world. One child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world, she declared. Her voice shaking the room, she wrote a book, I Am Malala, telling her story in her own words, which flew off shelves, touching hearts and opening eyes.
In 2014, something incredible happened. At just 17, Malala won the Nobel Peace Prize, the youngest person ever to receive it, sharing it with Kailash Satyarthi for their work on children's rights. This is for the forgotten children, she said in her speech, tears shining in her eyes. The ones who want to learn but can't. She dedicated the prize money to the Malala Fund, established with her father to build schools and promote girls' education, particularly in Pakistan and developing countries. Now living in the UK, Malala studies at Oxford University and married Asir Malik, a Pakistani-born British citizen, on November 9, 2021. Through the Malala Fund, she continues advocating for girls' rights, meeting with displaced and marginalized girls globally, from Afghanistan to Brazil, listening to their dreams and promising to keep fighting. Her work has inspired figures like Peace IO from Nigeria, who encourages parents to send their daughters to school, and girls in Syrian refugee camps who now dream of classrooms because of her. Her family, her father, her mother and her brothers stand with her, all part of this journey. Though they left Pakistan, Malala still loves her country, saying, I want to see it grow, with education for every child.
The Taliban tried to end her story, but they didn't understand her power. They said she was wrong to want a Western life, but Malala fought back with her faith. Quoting the Prophet Muhammad, Islam says, seek knowledge. Her belief keeps her strong, a bridge between her past and her future. Malala's tale isn't just about one girl. It's about every girl who's been told no, every dreamer who's been pushed down. She's a symbol of hope, of defiance, of the magic that happens when you refuse to give up. Let us pick up our books and pens, she says. They are our most powerful weapons. And with those words, the girl who fought back keeps changing the world, one brave step at a time.